No, 4 of them were brothers. No, 2 sets. That's right, Mark and Donnie. Funky bunch. Correct. All right. Thanks, Mo. Good evening, chickens. Pete B. OES News. What's happening on campus? The signs of spring are all over campus, and our investigative team took an eye-watering, itchy adventure to discover the flowers of OES. It is impossible not to notice the signs of spring all over the OES campus. Bursting from every hedge and every curb, flowers are starting to emerge, and one local resident knows a lot about them. Tell us what you know about flowers.
So, inside the flowers, there's these yellow things that are called pollen. And bees like to eat them and bring them to their mom.
What is your favorite types of flowers?
The tulips and the roses.
Tulips and roses?
Mm-hmm.
Does OES have a lot of flowers on it?
Sure. Like those ones over there and there. And there. And there. And there, that's gonna grow. And I don't know where they're gonna grow.
Should we take a little walk and you can show us some flowers of campus?
Sure.
It doesn't take long for Josephine to find examples of different types of flowers just outside where she lives. On all of the hedges, it seems they all are flowering this time of year. Josephine likes to compare and contrast.
They are like those, but they're pink.
Many of the flowers that we see year to year are called perennials, like these irises. Over in the OES Rose Garden, there are lots of perennials, like these beautiful daffodils.
That's a tulip.
No, it's not.
That is.
That's a daffodil.
No, it's a tulip.
No, it's a daffodil.
No, it's a tulip. I do want to say tulip.
It's not a tulip, it's a daffodil.
It's
Besides plenty of examples of daffodils on campus, Josephine noticed the different varieties of flowers, like crocuses, or these small ground flowers. There are flowers that grow directly on bare branches, flowers that grow on spiky bushes, and that flowers have different stages of blooming. For example, the common daffodil.
like this. And then they bloom like this.
So they push out of the ground, and then they send up a bulb, a flower bulb, and then the flower opens,
And ta-da!
and ta-da! But should you pick flowers? For this, we asked the 2nd and 3rd graders. Should people pick the flowers?
Sometimes, but if they're poisonous, you can't pick them.
Well, the flowers are really beautiful and I really like looking at them. So I think other people might like looking at them. So you should leave them be and not pick them, because instead of picking them so you can put them in a vase for yourself, you're kind of just leaving them for everybody to see.
I really love to pick flowers, but I also think you should just leave them there.
I think that you shouldn't pick flowers because it is because flowers are beautiful.
I think you shouldn't pick flowers because there are animals that need flowers to live, and you are also killing them right when you pick them. And when you pick flowers, most people, they pick flowers for just looking at them. And I think everybody should be able to look at them, not just you if you pick a flower. If you see a flower on the ground, though, then yeah, it's free to take.
Yes, while we didn't find any flowers on the ground that were free for the taking, Josephine did find something on the ground that she was excited to collect. That's right, a golf ball.
Guess what number it is?
4.
It's the first one.
1.
Yeah.
To learn even more about flowers, we decided to visit the greenhouse, where we found Paige, our new greenhouse supervisor, who was working with some socially distant teens, preparing the ground for even more new plantings. Paige is an expert, and is even working on bringing a new botanical garden to Portland.
My name is Paige Whitty.
Paige, why are flowers important?
Oh, for so many reasons. First of all, they bring us beauty and joy, but often then they'll bring fruit and things for us to eat.
What types of animals or insects like flowers?
Oh, all kinds. Bees. And in the world of bees, there are thousands of different types of bees, some native, some non-native. Beetles, like a lot of flowers, they call them insignificant, where they're upside down and we hardly ever see them, but beetles come up in them. Birds like flowers. Have you ever seen a hummingbird drinking from a flower? So birds and bees and almost any insect on some level is attracted to a flower, and then they're the pollinators for the flowers.
What does a pollinator mean?
Pollinator means sometimes pollen has to go from one flower to another, and sometimes wind will do that. Like, for example, corn is wind pollinated, but a lot of plants require help. So a bee will come. There's an expression called bee's knees, where if you ever seen a bee, sometime a honeybee, they have a big pocket on their knees, and those are pollen sacs. So when they're in there in the flower, they get pollen on their legs, and they fly to the next flower, and that fertilizes the flower, and then that's how the fruit is formed.
Do you have a favorite flower?
Oh, passion flowers are pretty wonderful.
What do you like about them?
They are the design of them is so beautiful and ornate. They're very bright in color often. I also like a lot of the winter flowers that have fragrance. And I also love flowers that bloom on bare wood. That's starting to happen. Like the plums are coming out right now. Magnolias do that. Quinces do that. I really love all flowers.
What's your favorite flower?
My favorite flower?
Yes.
I don't know. I really like roses because they come in lots of different colors, I would say.
My flower is a tulip, even though I haven't really seen one before. And I like tulips because it sprouts up from how I've seen in drawings, and I think it looks really beautiful.
I like jasmine flowers.
My favorite flower is a tree because they provide oxygen.
My favorite flower is the calla lily because they're beautiful.
No.
Daffodil, why?
Because I think they're pretty and I really like spring.
I'm a big fan of the cherry blossoms, the way they look and blow in the wind. But of course, I have to enjoy them inside, as I have a lot of allergies seasonally.
I would say probably calla lilies as well. I think by themselves they're beautiful, but when they're in a little cluster, they're really beautiful.
Favorite flower?
Yep.
Probably the sunflower.
Sunflower?
I love how they spread around and, make a huge sunflower bed everywhere.
I like tulips because, the places that I grew up, almost everyone only had tulips in their front yards, and there are a lot of butterflies that came around them, and I really like them because they're really pretty and they get butterflies around them a lot.
My favorite flowers are violets because my name is Violet, and the color of them is just so beautiful.
That makes sense.
Well, my favorite flower is roses because my friend's name is Rose.
Yes, flowers play an important role for all of us, especially on campus. So we encourage you to take a walk and look for some. You're guaranteed to see some.
And there's a lot of them around us.
Pete B., OES News. Thank you, Pete, for that eye-watering investigative journalism. If you have something you'd like to submit for OES News, please feel free to email it with a parent's permission to chicken@oes.edu. www.ecc.edu. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and good night, chickens. Now, they went by NKOTB more recently. Right. No, they never got back together. Not for that tour. No, it was Johnny. No, Joey was only 12.